So here we go with the middle ELO section, the 1300 to 1500 bracket. And we have Conrad here in the blue versus Chivo in the gray. So almost a classic Arabia matchup here for the first game, I would say. Franks for one player, and Conrad in the blue with Franks, and Chivo with the Mayans. Cavalry Civ Archer Civ here, essentially. And both with strong economies as well, Mayans with resources lasting 15% longer, and Franks with faster foraging of berries and farming upgrades kicking in instantly, going through the ages. So let's look at the maps here though. Left side looks very open here for Conrad. Doesn't mean that they can't wall off this whole section here though. And the front side as well, between the woodlands maybe, would have to leave out 2 golds in that case. And then the backside here, backside-ish main gold here to be somewhat easily secured, I think. Backstone at this kind of also eliminates or reduces the possibility for the enemy to go for towers, but that's not usually something the Mayans go for anyway. So let's look at the other side here for the Mayans player. Nice back gold here, 7 tile gold, back woodline as well. And then the side golds though are more exposed here, one right next to the hill here and one very forward here. We have between the woodlines a decent wall off, could even wall off all the way to the edge of the map here if Chivo wants to. But yeah, main gold should be easily secured. Side here looks a lot more open. This map looks like something that would be more exposed to scouts play, but then that's all the more reason for the Mayans to go for an early drush build or something to try and obstruct the Franks early on with their what will most likely be scouts. We'll see here. 3 on wood for Conrad, usually suggesting that the feudal age play will be the scouts. Bringing in the board now, dropping house as well, some preemptive walling here. Does not see that this is a potential open area though, so that could be hurtful in the later game for Conrad here. Two wood choppers on a detour there for some reason. I don't know what they were up to. Must be a misclick or something maybe. We have 4 on wood for the Mayans player. Would suggest some kind of infantry opening or the straight archers, as both are viable options for the Mayans. You really want to try and hit the Franks early though to obstruct their early food income to maybe cripple their scouts opening a little bit. Pushing in the deer as well, maybe they're both doing that. Yeah, looks like it. No, that might be that's a goat. Never mind. Where is the hunt of Conrad? Yeah, they're all the way in the back here, not the easiest pushable hunt of all. So it looks like both players has some idle TC time here. Conrad with a full villager's worth of idle TC time actually, so falling a little bit behind here, behind the Mayans player who also has an extra villager to start the game with. So Chivo here with Loom already teched, being Mayans. As you see, Conrad having the deer in the worst possible spot here is still able to push in at least 1 here. Dropping the barracks just now before any feudal age click actually, so that seems very early for Conrad here. But given the food investment, it still looks like scouts build to me, so... But... Well, I guess not, because the barracks is going up now at 19 pop and the mill hasn't been built yet. So Frank's Drush, here it is, Drush into Fast Castle maybe. Also a viable play given the wall ability of Conrad's map here. But this long distance berry picking is less than optimal for the Frank's I have no idea what Conrad is up to here, actually. The barracks is up, second lumber camp is up, the mill is not at all. So, sure, the Franks forage barriers more quickly, but if they have to walk in 10 tiles to drop off the food, maybe it's not, not really worthwhile anyway. Could be some mind games going on here to lead Chivo to think that something else is going on here. 20 pop it is though, and Chivo with 20 pop up as well. With a semi-forward barracks here. Is it going to be men-at-arms towers for Chivo here? That's certainly certainly unexpected from Mayans. Huh. So very forward barracks here for Chivo. Conrad with probably with rather limited scouting intel, doesn't know anything, doesn't even know about the location of the enemy base here. Fuel Age is in, and we're gonna see a very forward range here. Yeah, I have no idea what I'm watching. Double ranges with no gold to back it. What is this? Chivo, what are you doing? What the heck is this? I think Chivo forgot to go to gold, or it's full Mayan's trash rush here, which would be peculiar as well. First thing, dropping a, training a spearman here. These dudes go forward to Tower the Woodland and gold here, maybe, who knows? And some walls here to stop the stable from producing knights, maybe. Or scouts, rather. Nice little quick house from Conrad there, but it's probably struggling to react to Chivo's quite unconventional build order. Two extremely forward ranges, going only for skirms here. No, gold, why? Why? Why go for a trash rush as Mayans? It's certainly going to catch your opponent off guard. You need the spearman anyway against Franks, but now four forward villagers. Not going to stone at home, so it's only going to be maximum one tower forward here for Chivo. And yeah. What a weird game so far. Military lead though, 7 military. And then still 4 villagers, isn't it? Forward here, 3 or 4 villagers. Spears and skirmishers, no gold whatsoever for Chivo. Wants to conserve that precious gold for later, apparently. No walls at home either. Just counting on constant aggression and annoyment here to pay off against the Franks. So weird. It seems to be working though, forces lots of quick walls from Conrad here, and the Mayans trash rush is certainly something you never expect. You'd expect them to go maybe rush or men-at-arms into archers, but here we go. 4 forward villagers into 1 tower somewhere. Where's the tower? There it is. Ah, it's on the woodline, so Chivo is now hitting both woodlines. Oh, hello, Palm. With the Angry Housewives. No Angry Housewives in this game, though. Both players going for unconventional plays here. Franks with a very early barracks here, looking like a pre-milled rush, but no Angry Housewives were ever made. And Chivo here with 10 military forward, only skirms and spears. And the initial eagle here to annoy the enemy at the maximum here. You wouldn't think that this was 1300 to 1500 elo bracket. This is... This is so weird. It's working like crazy though on Conrad's side though. 13 on wood, 4 on food for Conrad. Lots of farms, but not really working efficiently. I'm planning to exclusively play fast imp in this tourney. That sounds like some quick games, Palm. Are you sure you want to do that? At least play Burgundians for the fast imp. For a little bit of flex. Wait, they're not allowed. Never mind. That's a 1-0. Conrad taps out here. Can't really play Franks to his planning here. And that's going to be a 1-0 for Chivo. Once they see my hand cannons, people will resign. Alright, so you're planning triple wall into Turks and Byzantines and some other Civ fast imp then. Good to know. That's a 1-0. Let's have a look at the stats for this one, which would probably be an interesting one because the game ends at 15:48. It's pretty quick GG here. And looking at the military, 10-2 military, not a single archer made by Zulu here, who's apparently changed the name since the start of the tournament. Economy, food and wood, no gold, no stone, no nothing. Looked like men-at-arms towers from Zulu, but then only that one first and only tower was placed. Uptime's roughly similar here. No scouts ever made for Conrad, I think. Only 2 military total. Villager high, roughly similar, but that constant thrash aggression from Mayans probably caught Conrad completely off guard to not allow them into the game as desired with Franks. Now let's pull up game number 2, which will be Conrad's home map. So let's have a look at this one. The map is Acropolis. That is Conrad's home map of choice. And let's look at the Civs here. So Conrad obviously wanting to play the cavalry Civ again now with the Lithuanians for Acropolis here. Should allow for some nice and early aggression with scouts here. Lithuanians start with 150 extra food, so they have a very smooth transition into the feudal age for some good rushes. Chivo, however, has other plans in mind with the Incas here. We might be seeing some YOLO Incas villagers and tower rush here, who knows. The last game was certainly peculiar in terms of strategy. Incas, however, have a strong men-at-arms into archers as well, and look at the food sources here for Chivo. It's berries and ibex literally kissing each other here. You could mill both the berries and the ibex with only 1 mill here. Naming is allowed in this tournament, so if you're nice and early out on the enemy side, you could easily snag a rhino here for a little bit food setback for the opponent and a food boost for yourself. Conrad not nearly as lucky with the ibex placement either, has the berries very much in front and the ibex in the back. 1 forward stone as well, but there is 1 stone in the back here for Conrad, so he might be able to access stone for defensive towers should it be needed. Let's see the map 0, back gold and semi-back stone for Chivo here. Could even wall off and play this boring if he wants to. We don't know that though. Decent wood access on top of the hill here as well. No need to go into the big woodlands just yet, I think. Then on the other side we have 3 on wood, unsurprisingly from Conrad, planning in the scouts for this game, and might have better luck this time around because Acropolis can be very awkward to full wall. Starting the wall off already, in fact. Don't tell me it's going to go boring fast castle with Lithuanians here. Walling is a huge investment on Acropolis, but if you can somehow get all the walls up and fend off the early aggression, you're still in a position to provide a power spike in the with the castle age kicking in and the knights being unlocked. Chivo with quite a bit of idle TC time here, might have overcommitted to the buffalo scouting maybe, water buffaloes. Why would there be water buffaloes on Acropolis, by the way? That doesn't make sense, but that's the map layout here. Going heavily onto food, 4 on wood though. And let's look at the scouting. Conrad about to find the enemy side here. No boars left to steal, but the water buffalo in the back here could still be taken, I'd say. Chivo has been using that to scout and is just chilling out there for now. Even these buffaloes could be taken actually by Conrad if he spots them in time here. There we go. That's a potential 3 buffaloes down for Chivo. So Chivo will need to recover those now. Sends a villager to snag them, I guess. But Conrad is on point here. Chivo doesn't have loom yet and can't really can't collect those. And I think Conrad is just going to send this one to the corner and try to make sure Chivo can't easily recover those. We'll be losing this one, I think, though, to the wood chopper over here. Or not. However, you look at that though, it's a huge setback in the food eco for Chivo, going to obstruct that feudal age maybe a little bit, or at least the food eco for the transition between feudal age and castle age here. Conrad pretty happy with the situation, I'd assume, with 2 buffaloes on the way, and now Chivo should be very thankful to have some ibex just right next to the mill with the berries here, because that's going to provide for a smooth recovery after losing 2 water buffalo, a total of 300 food there. Feudal age on the way at 19 pop here. This is beginning to suggest a towers play, actually. Meanwhile, we have Conrad not clicking up yet and queuing a ridiculous amount of villagers here in the town center. So Conrad has no plans for feudal age access here. I'm going to give him the red card for not playing this in the spirit of open season and just making his own little hideout over here. Banned, yes. This is exactly what happened to me when I played my round on Acropolis as well. I was up against Burmese. I lamed a boar and 2 or 3 buffaloes, and then they just wall off and went all crazy castle age instead. So the walls will be going up here, and feudal age on the way though. So what's going on here? Conrad going up at 24 pop. Did not go to gold yet, but is going to gold with 3 builders now. Is that going to be enough to get to that castle age in time, though? I don't think so. Will be struggling for wood for the buildings here, potentially. Yeah, we'll see. What's Chivo's play though? Here's the blacksmith, here's the stone investment, 5 on stone now, and it's actually perfect to... perfect way to try and obstruct or punish a fast castle play by the opponent here to go for towers. So let's toggle Chivo's point of view and see where the villagers are moving out. They have little to no intel on what's going on the enemy side here, and would have probably been best off dropping the first tower here to deny some stones and golds here, but Conrad is planning the fast castle, has the food for it. If he gets denied of gold or distracted here, that's not going to be a very smooth fast castle age for Conrad. Also, by the looks of it, struggling for wood for the buildings needed to go up here, so I'm not sure what Conrad is planning to do here. Chivo might be trying to tower hop over the wood line in here, actually. Tower will go up here in time. These quick houses will at best be delaying the forward here a little bit. Scout down, and what's plan? I think this wood line is too thick to tower hop over, but it does deny some wood access. And now Conrad is left with only this woodland and this woodland for taking. Chivo is going to play this full Inca madness with lots of villagers forward here, at least 7 of them, I think. And with Eagle Scout on the inside as well, quick walling behind is not the easiest job ever. Villagers, they don't actually have any upgrades yet, because Chivo being lamed up some water buffalo has a little bit of a crippled food economy here. But that's not going to stop the villagers from breaking in here and obstructing more resources of Conrad here. If you want to go for that Inca's villagers and towers rush though, you need to invest more into the upgrades, because that's what makes it unique, that you can actually have your villagers do much better in villager on villager fighting. Conrad now dropping the barracks, is still missing the second building to go up here. That second building probably intended to be the stable, but that's not going to be happening just yet. defensive tower going up, but I think Chivo's tower is going up here as well. Eventually it does, and still no sign of any blacksmith upgrades for Chivo here though. Tower on tower, some villager, one villager left behind here as well. I don't think this is the most successful tower rush ever. It's not denying nearly enough here, so once Conrad can get the stables up, he's going to be able to get to the castle age and then start producing knights, and that should put a stopper to the Inca's tower rush no matter their upgrades. Here comes the defense upgrade though, so in terms of villager fighting, Chivo should be in a good spot here. No farms at all though, just relying on the hunt and food here and not really taking any new hunt, so no shift clicking the deer here to take the hunt. So Chivo's food eco, not very pretty here. Lots of stone though, so come the castle age, a defensive castle shouldn't be a problem here for Chivo at all. Might lose this forward tower though, and the villagers can't easily move forward either because they'd have to pass next to the TC here. Conrad on the way to the castle age is moving some villagers to relocate to a better woodline as well. A preemptive move to just in case some the aggression continues inside here, and the woodline is rather depleted as well. So he's going to struggle for a new one though. Still missing 50 wood to drop a new lumber camp. So this is going to cripple Conrad's potential for food eco and expansion across the map quite a bit actually, because there won't be any new TCs, there won't be a second stable, but at least from the look of the food and gold eco, Conrad here will be able to make 5, 6, 7 knights to either counter-attack or fend off the towers for good, and Chivo here doesn't have the brightest economy either, to say the least, so still with Castle Age kicking in, there should be of much help to Conrad here to deal with the aggression. Chivo with a very forward barracks, so might want to intercept those scouts before they can, these knights I mean, before they can enter the enemy side. Knights in production, a couple of knights here for Chivo, has enough wood for a lumber camp as well, that's up over there. No stone for Conrad though, having invested into the defensive towers, so won't be making any multiple TCs anytime soon. Chivo floating lots of wood, very unstable economy here to not to be able to make much out of it. Hasn't gone to gold yet at all, so Chivo here will be committing to feudal age for a long time yet, and considering that Conrad is stabilizing and has knights out of the field now, it's looking rather rough for the Incas player here. Obviously, being in the feudal age, Cabayuk aren't an option. Had Chivo been able to go to the castle age here with the economy to back this tower, so it would be a different story because they would have the chance to drop a castle and go into those mighty Cabayuks against cavalry. Hello, Ardol. We're watching a questionable Incas towers and villagers rush here. Yeah, so the knights moving forward now for some counter-aggression. That should be more than enough. Chivo trying to invest into stone walls here, but they're never going to go up in time, obviously. Market going up here in a desperate effort to buy the way to the castle age maybe, or just serve as a wall here. If you want questionable games, cast mine. Okay, noted. We'll get to them at some point. Yeah, 10-10 shit plays. I like it already. Perks of having Incas villagers, at least they have armor, so even against Castle Age Knights they will hold up decently on defense for Conrad as well, but that's about it for the Knights here. Look at this idle eco time for Chivo. That's of course because of the 6 villagers invested forward as well, but all in all, not looking bright for them. None on gold, none on food, none on wood, none on stone. Completely idle, mind you. Dropping defensive tower here, going to try and fend off the knights of the Lithuanian player here, but I feel like investing into these full stone walls here is just going to delay the inevitable for Chivo here. Conrad doesn't have the prettiest economy either, but it does have the villager lead here. With 6 total, and Chivo with some forward builders and forward spears as well to have defense against the knights, at least on this side of the base. Double stable for Conrad here, but only producing out of 1 of them, understandably so, with only 8 on food. The counter aggression is still in the forward here as well, and Chivo, I don't even know why they're holding on here, because the economy is rubbish for Chivo here. And this is, by the looks of it, going to a game 3 between these two. Defensive tower stone, maybe going to be able to turtle this out somehow. Still some wood to invest into more farms. Will be needing gold to get to the next stage now. We are at 25 minutes and no sign of a Castle Age click for Chivo here. That knight will be dealt with, fortunately. And there's still an opening. Oh, beautiful. This has to be so incredibly annoying to play against, I don't even want to comment on it. Conrad with the early walls, at least getting punished by Chivo for doing that with some towers. But now Chivo responding with stone walls all over the Acropolis here. And not really with a stellar economy to back it. Conrad should just try and stabilize a little bit more and then add some siege. I think this TC might be within mangonel range from outside here actually. Multiple TCs as well for Conrad, going to play the eco game here for a bit and gain a much larger villager lead at 10 villagers for now. These forward spears of Chivo shouldn't be too annoying as Conrad has relocated miners to stone and gold over here. Maybe even thinking about a forward castle at this point to try and take Chivo completely out of the game here. Castle drop here and there's not much Chivo can do, for example, other than defensive towers to try and stop it from going up. Five military to 12, I believe that's pikemen, spearmen only for Chivo and Conrad with 4 knights and a monk here. Monk for healing purposes and maybe converting enemy units as well. So looks like the gap here has been plugged, unless there's a hole here that we can't see. I don't think so. The middle probably blocking that one. Conrad with... how did it spend the stone? Is he going to go forward now to build something, or did they just sell stone for other purposes here? Could be as well. Chivo tried to wall in one of the stables forward. It's a bit a defensive castle actually. That's a questionable choice given the course of events here. Because if you drop a forward castle here, you take out the feudal TC of Chivo and they have to rebuild it somewhere, and it's going to be sub-optimal wherever they place it. So that was a bit peculiar to see Conrad not using the advantage they actually have here to drop a forward castle right away. But the economy is certainly stabilizing. 14 villagers lead now for Conrad. 10 military against 10 military as well, but that is Lithuania's knights and a monk against 10 spearmen. So if Conrad is able to gather more relics as well, he's going to be looking at knights with a substantial extra attack boost here. Five knights now just casually strolling by the stone binding villagers over here, and the only weak spot to be hit is maybe the market here, but you still need quite a few knights to take it out quickly enough so as to not allow Chivo to wall enough behind here. 19 on stone now for Conrad. Really thinking about, has to be thinking about that forward castle now, just to try and end it. Really slow game so far, just maybe walling and turtling here. Chivo with some towers aggression, but not really paying off. Stone walls behind here as well. But Conrad now with 17 on stone is going to, has to be a forward castle here or something. Chivo only has 5 military to deny whatever will be coming here. This market will be repaired, I guess, while the knights attack here. 2 relics now for Conrad, so that's 2 attack for free for the Lithuanians here. Lots of gold in the bank now. Conrad could even buy the remaining stone needed for a castle, but it has to be a forward castle now. Conrad is such a leading spot here now with 10 knights, 6 spearmen, and now with quite a few villagers outposts rushing the field. Okay, so maybe Conrad doesn't know that the leading, very much leading position he's in. Desperately trying to break through here, but Chivo finally on the way to the castle age here. Did waste or spend so much stone on the stone walls here though that a counter defensive castle in the castle age is out of the question here. Here comes the forward. Why there? Why on that side? Why not just here to deny golds and stones and the DC? Oh. Oh. Oh well. Looks like the market might go down here though, and that should be the GG moment for Chivo, because they barely have any military to fend it off here. Spearman with defense but not attack. And there we go. Scary spearman apparently, but then there's a castle to provide cover fire on this side. The castle could target the mill and any quick wallers behind, and it should still be a point of entry for Conrad on this side. 74 to 38 here, Conrad with a 1500 score lead. There's no way back for Chivo for this one. Look at all the map control. Conrad basically has all of the map here, has collected 2 relics, will probably be collecting more as well. Chivo reaching the castle age, but is now having a forward castle in their face. Defensive siege workshop. Inca's player refusing to give this up. I mean, just target the mill already and find a way in here. This is really... I don't even know why Chivo is holding on here. There shouldn't be any way back here, having lost all the map like this. It's 78 to 37 villagers. It's 94 population to 47. Conrad just needs a way in. Should have just charged against these spears not long ago when breaking the market here, because the Lithuanians +2 knights would win anyway with their defense and relics boost attack. Monks are... Conrad hasn't got the last three relics scouted apparently, so not collecting more relics either. I don't even know what I'm watching here anymore. The players aren't resigning when they Conrad? Hello? Oh, good. Good call. Sees the TC going up. Goodbye to those 3 villagers. Armor or not, these Inca's villagers are for sure going to go down. The mighty pikemen are coming to chase, but once this mill is down, it should be free passage for these 9 knights here to run in and demolish the rest of the eco for Chivo, and it should be going to a game 3. Maybe it's an L and not an I don't know. But this is so slow. Imperial Age now kicking in for Conrad, and surely that is the deciding blow here. Get some Trebs out on the field, deal with the one and only TC of Chivo. There's no opportunity of expansion here. Treb coming out, indeed. deal with that mill already and just run in. Okay, there's actually a stone wall behind there as well, but GG is called indeed with the Imperial Age kicking in, and that's certainly about time here. I don't know why it doesn't. Maybe they've changed names since the previous. Conrad is still Conrad. Let's see here. Well, there's Chivo. Chivo is 1225 actually. Interesting. Well, we all have ups and downs, obviously. Let's look at the stats here just before moving on to game 3. 36 to 20 for the Lithuanian player here. Did make it to Imperial Age finally at 39 minutes. Castle at 18-26 as well, but turtling it out. He doesn't get any stars in my book. And 9,000 something. Yeah, clear eco lead for Conrad, who ties the villager to end the game here. And this army basically just spearmen for Zulu here. So, it is a 1-1, so let's just pull up the third game between these guys as well. That should be Chivo's home map, and Chivo's going with Serengeti here for this one. Yeah, exactly. I absolutely agree. The Iceberg Man was really delaying the just delaying the inevitable, I would say. So thanks for the follow, Urgent Skill. Much appreciated. Now let's switch overlays here and go to the decider game between these two players. Conrad versus Chivo. Again here, third game, decider game, and it is Chivo's home map, which is Serengeti. So with Serengeti in the map drafting, I'm surprised to say that Chivo, the home map player here, doesn't get Mongols. Probably it's likely that that was Conrad's first pick here, because why would you leave out Mongols as your pick for Serengeti? But with that out of the way though, Serengeti has only one elephant, but extra hunt to be taken. And looking at the placement of the hunt here, you could easily justify placing the mill up here and then use that mill as a vantage point to take all of this extra hunt as well, if you don't want to spend your time luring them in. Conrad going for the lame! Oh boy, oh boy! So we have some nice early action here. Chivo might be suspecting it, actually, given the score here, but it's a very much failed lame attempt and could mean a scout down for Conrad here. What happened? I think we need to relaunch Capture H. I'll just be right back. So hopefully we can pick up where we left off here. The score is 1-1 as you can see, and Conrad just failed a lame, so for the Mongols player, likely to go into the scouts opening here on Serengeti, already is standing with a scout at 25 HP, so that effectively limits their opening scouts potential here. It's not easy to lame elephants either, they attack more quickly, so if they attack you underway while you're going for the lame, you're going to lose more hit points and yeah, put yourself at a rough spot here. Conrad does, however, snag a sheep and is going to send this all the way down to the corner here. So, Mongols here pushing in the deer. Conrad must have the scouts in planning for the Mongols here, as you probably should on Serengeti. Players spawning pretty darn far away here, but with the mobility of scouts, that's not an issue. Ethiopians, on the other hand, what do you want to do with Ethiopians here? Nice back woodland actually for Chivo here, so that does facilitate securing the the wood for archers' purposes here, but at the very least you probably want to go into some kind of infantry opening here, like Rush or Men-at-Arms. But we'll see. Here comes the mill on the hill for Chivo. Both players with a minimum of idle TC time. Chivo with more idle worker time, but that could just be the movement time over to the different resources here as well. And then from tasks like this, like walling, that if they idle after you had them working, that's going to render your villagers useless until you can notice that idle tag in the top of the screen. 2 minutes 45 seconds idle time for Chivo though, so already falling behind Conrad in terms of economic income, but the villager production is on point for Chivo with 18 pop now. Trying for the early wall up here. That's risky on Serengeti because there are always some holes to pass through and whatnot. But we'll see. Conrad should be on the way up any moment now with 19 or 20 pop here and 20 pop blue with Mongols. You can go up even earlier with Mongols with the extra food boost from Hunt here. But Conrad chooses to go for the 20 pop here and should be clicking up any moment now after Loom. Or... there we go. So 22 seconds idle TC time, some villager micro taking the attention away for Conrad here, but the fuel age is a fact and going to beat Chivo with quite some margins here. Chivo opting for some long walls as well. And with Conrad's initial scout weakened, it's not as easy for Conrad to deny the early walls here as either, so maybe, just maybe, Chivo will be able to wall it off in time here. Yeah, I think the walls will be up in time for both players here, going for some rather greedy, extensive ones here. But with that in mind, Chivo at 22 pop up here. Straight for the archers, I presume. No barracks dropped yet. And Conrad at 20 pop here. There's still a point of entry over here, but I guess it all depends on how Chivo solves the rest part of the wall here. Wants to secure the hunt here, obviously. Something that Conrad hasn't scouted yet, after a failed attempt to lure the elephant in the early game. So there's the barracks. It's a very delayed scout rush here from Mongol. That's the danger of going for these early walls, insistent early dark walls here. You won't be able to afford the stables right away, so Conrad here just wasted his 20 pop up here by walling so much and not being able to afford the stables right away. Unless the plan is fast fuel into eco upgrades into quicker castle age here, which is possible to adapt to. Conrad gets some more hits in on Chivo's scout here and will be blinding Chivo for whatever follow-up is coming their way now. So one scout down for Chivo, good news, but meanwhile Chivo has bought himself time to wall off the home field here. So any scouts of Conrad, should they go this direction, they won't really have much luck. They need to break through the walls before they can do anything. Chivo with one goal, nice. Can't even be stopped by a tower here, and then wood access in the back here. The front wood line, even if it should be in danger, the back wood line should be nice and safe from any aggression, given the current army composition, which is scouts for Conrad. So straight feudal, double ranges for Chivo here with 4 on gold for now. We'll need a few more, maybe 6 on gold to sustain double ranges production. You can also benefit from a little extra food and gold upon reaching the next stage, granting them 100 food, 100 gold. So this is how Chivo can sustain the TC producing and also go for the archers here. Only using one of the ranges though. The second one just finished, so a little bit of attention to where your queuing units is in order here. Because right now the brand new archery range is completely useless for Chivo over here. There we go. Now the production has been evened out a bit here. Conrad splitting up the scouts, going for more scouts here. There are spears out for Chivo to deny them as well, or to try and take them out. This scouts offensive won't have much success on Serengeti now. And again, the players are playing hideout more than they're playing open, and should be punished for it. But we'll leave that up for discussion for some other day. Archer's production seems consistent for Chivo here now out of both ranges, and Conrad will be going into skirmishers defense here most likely. Skirmishers could also be useful to take out enemy spearmen in accordance or together with your scouts, so good addition from Conrad there at their home base. So at the very least forcing some extra palisades behind there, but that's not a huge investment for Chivo. Houses will be needed anyway, and with this kind of walling they should be perfectly safe from the aggression for a while yet. The Skirms addition is of course going to help out against the Ethiopian archers moving forward, but for now, looking at the wall of Conrad, all of Conrad's core resources are well inside of the walls anyway and aren't easily denied by enemy archers. Chivo with 30 military to Conrad's 6 here. And also getting fletching by the looks of it. Yeah, so at this point I think Conrad is better off just tasking the scouts to explore the rest of the map, find the relics location, find all the neutral golds for the later game. Or just bring them home to fend off against the forward that's happening down here from the Ethiopian's player. So a mix of archers and spears here. A good call against the Mongol scouts opening. You'd still need something maybe to deal with the enemy skirmishers here, as Conrad is dropping a second range. It's not completely out of the questions to go for crossbows as Mongols either. You'd want the ranges anyway if you want to go into stone and Mangadai for the later game, so not a bad call for Conrad to mirror the double ranges approach of Chivo, but going exclusively skirmishes here with 2 ranges, that's quite a bit of an investment. That's going to delay the castle age quite a bit for Conrad, who's still behind all this is sitting at a stronger economy by the looks of it. 39 to 35 villagers, so Chivo has had more idle time overall here. The archers and spears break through though. It is going to be enough against the Skirm's defense here on Conrad. Seems like Conrad is holding up nicely here, getting quite a few kills here. Did bring his scouts back home as well to help out, and seems to be working here. No upgrades on the scouts, but Conrad's skirmishers have fletching for a little bit extra damage output against the archers here. That's a cleanup, and Chivo is left with 11 military against Conrad's 10 here, where Conrad is sitting at the counter units here in the skirmishers. The skirmish investment is taking its toll on the economy though. Just look at the food here of Conrad as opposed to Chivo over here. Chivo now with a better eco setup to reach that cast stage a bit earlier. Seems to have stopped production in order to place more farms and prepare for the cast stage switch here. Last bit of the archers have been dealt with, and Chivo pulls the last remaining group back after a rather unsuccessful forward on Conrad's side. Conrad dropping in the market, thinking about some eco adjustment here as well. Could use that excess gold to buy food And there we go, another 100 food. I'm gonna click the cast stage. So actually, on top of all this, Conrad, with all those skirms, with that market going up now, saves himself by buying the cast stage and maybe going to get an edge over the enemy now. To have quite a few skirms to potentially go into elite skirms come the cast stage, and then produce maybe some Mongols Knights to top it off here. So neglecting to see the army on the hill here, that would be some good pickoffs for Conrad as well. Though Chivo still hasn't clicked at cast stage, and Conrad will be having a good minute lead going to the next stage. Idling one of the woodlines here, and Chivo about to drop the third mage here, so it's kind of revealing that they are in fact going to the cast stage now, because that's what you're usually doing, or often doing, playing archers like this to ensure that you can have consistent production and increase the numbers. You want to place that third range while going to the cast stage. It's situational though. If you never lost any archers, you don't need that many to replenish or add to your armies, but in Chivo's case, losing the archers forward a couple of times here is doing smart to add another range to reinforce those numbers. We have a stable going up for Chivo as well, probably for light cav or knights against the skirmishes here. Conrad, however, going into defense for his mounted units, and Bloodlines is already in as well. Let's see if it's double stables with, yeah, soon to be double stables knight production here for Conrad. Doesn't need all that many to deal with these archers actually, because Chivo is still 1 minute off from the cast lage and crossbows. So just passing each other, apparently, turtling away at either side of the fields here. Chivo with a triple set of buildings behind here to really keep those and that knight's follow-up away. Probably scouted it in the other side here, Chivo, that Conrad is going for the stables play. Nah, not really, but knows about the first stable. Might have seen a knight pop out. Crossbow Bodkin for Chivo. Good call to upgrade the archers ASAP, of course. But let's see how the skirmishers, elite skirmishers at that, of Conrad will hold up against this. It's 11 elite skirms against 18 archers and a couple of knights to send in front of the elite skirms here. It shouldn't be the worst fight ever for Conrad if he runs into an engagement with the Ethiopians archers now. Ethiopians get instant pikeman upgrade, so makes the knights play of Mongols here a little bit less viable. But with elite skirms to complement that, the pikes aren't that much of a threat, as elite skirms would counter both pikes and crossbows rather efficiently. But still shouldn't let the Ethiopians knights here come close though. Castle in the making now for the Mongols player, placing it at home here to eliminate any archer's aggression from this side and to potentially be able to go into Mangudai later as well. Mongols just so strong and Serengeti with that hunt for the early opening and some hills to fall back to for your Mangudai once you're able to mass them. The usual play is going scouts into knights, maybe for example, and then follow up with Mangudai later to go into elite Mangudai in the Imperial Age if you can afford it. So for now, it's the Knights and Skirms investment for Chivo. Running for Conrad here. Running right into a massive pike though, and Chivo now sitting at a large chunk of military here to deal with what Conrad is offering. And our Mangodai also, well, it's a good raiding unit, so if you have small groups of Mangodai, you could also move over to the other side and use them for raiding. They will deal with the pikes as well, of course, so maybe a few Mangodai isn't all that bad at this stage. Only fletching and 1 armor though, so the Mangodai are far from full upgraded here, to say the least. No Bodkin yet, forcefully. Indeed it does. Missing some significant upgrades here that applies to both the Skirms and the Mangodai here. And being outnumbered as well, that's never a good sign in terms of military here. Both players pretty consistent in resource spending, but keep in mind that Conrad has a castle up already as well, and that Chivo has been investing the resources otherwise. Both players on 2 TCs, Conrad keeping a solid villager lead behind all of this, but army matters as well, and the faster firing Ethiopian crossbows are still doing work here. KD in favor of Conrad, but overall score as well actually, but that could also be the castle playing in here and overall army strength, all things considered. I'm not sure if this is a fight Chivo should take, but probably through trying to keep the Mangonai numbers low here, but all the crossbows running them into skirmishes like this, disaster. Why are you doing this, Chivo? That's a lot of crossbows down for nothing, and here comes the defensive siege workshop for Conrad as well. Mongols have amazing siege weapons in the Imperial Age with the unique technology drill that has them move, I believe, 40% faster. Another stable for the Ethiopians player here. Could go into camels now against the knights here. What's going on? Do we have a bug? No! Alright, I think it's the fog of war bug. We're at what minute? 32:44. I want to see the ending of this, so let's just minimize capture age if we can. I'll quit it for now and see if we can catch the ending of this this game here. So we were at roughly 32 minutes, I believe, so I'll be fast forwarding to try and catch up and see the ending here. I think we also need to stay on Fog of War of 1 player to avoid it, that bug. I'm not sure how it works. So, just for safety, I guess I'll stay on Conrad's point of view here. We need to fast forward to minute 32 to catch up with the ending here and see how they end up.